Rosanna. As a New Yorker, I've seen our city skyline change. And with all this new development comes an appreciation of the older buildings that have withstood the test of time. Whether you're up in Harlem or down on Broadway, we are in the midst of a building boom. Would you ever think that would happen in your lifetime? From the East Coast to the West Coast and places in between.
They say everything is bigger in Texas.
And real estate brokers who move and sell now kiss and tell.
You don't really want people to hear you when you're filming adult films in a residential building.
His date from the night before is in bed, passed out.
I see flashbulbs. I see paparazzi.
But first, the Plaza Hotel. It's been in business over 100 years. It's welcomed presidents, kings, even the Beatles to its fashionable Fifth Avenue address. And now one of the biggest names in fashion is giving us an exclusive tour inside his home. Tommy Hillfiger, how did you use your fashion sense to turn this into a beautiful home?
Well, we really wanted to bring it back to the original. So we wanted it to be old world classic, but with a modern twist. It is one of the only two domes in the building and one of the only two terraces in the building. It overlooks Fifth Avenue and Central Park.
What are the benefits to living in the Plaza Hotel, besides the history?
Location, location, location. It's the center of the universe. I come and go all the time. If we're here for a night, we don't have to worry about checking in and out of a hotel. We have room service, maid service, security, anything you want.
Win-win.
Exactly.
Nikki Field of Sotheby's International shows me around.
Rosanna, we're so happy you're here at Tommy Hillfiger's home. Few people get a glimpse of the inside. Let's go to the second level. You're going to get a very special visit to possibly one of the most beautiful romantic bedrooms in all of Manhattan.
Very pretty. I see some like Art Deco pieces in here.
It's a wonderful design match of original antique French floors, oak, the French marble period mantelpiece, mixed with some more recent designs, some of them a little fun and others quite seriously proper from the Louis XIV era.
Who cleans the crystal?
We're looking for someone.
So tell me about this terrace right off of their bedroom. Ooh, what views!
Not a whole lot you can say out here, right, Rosanna? The privacy of it, the views, and the extraordinary detail of the tour of the Plaza residences.
And by the way, I can tell if there's traffic on the 59th Street Bridge.
Yes, you can indeed. You can time yourself when you're leaving for the Hamptons.
Exactly.
3 more bedroom suites, plus a playroom. Come to my favorite first.
It's so nautical. It's great.
Classic Tommy Hillfiger Americana right here.
Even the chandelier is nautical. Tell me about this room because it's so different.
We are in the top turret of the Plaza residences, and as you see, we're overlooking Central Park and Grand Armory Plaza.
This is all Eloise around us.
Eloise at the Plaza. This is her tea room. Hilary Knight, the author of Eloise at the Plaza, did this hand-painted mural that surrounds us. As you look up above, you'll see the interior of the turret lined with the original bricks. And hanging there is a lantern that comes from the original New York Times building. It's quite spectacular at night when it's lit.
I like the Eloise room because the kids love it.
What about the veranda off your bedroom? That's really special, too. Do you go out there? Do you read the newspaper out there? Are you old school? Do you read the newspaper or do you read it off your iPad?
I read it off my iPad nowadays. So I sit out, have coffee, overlook the park. It's a great nook.
And your office? Do you spend a lot of time in that office?
When I'm here, I spend time in the office because I can close myself off, think, read, get inspired.
Foyer is beautiful.
Thank you.
And I love the wall treatment that you used.
Velveteen.
Velveteen. Were you very involved in decorating?
My wife, Dee, worked with Cindy Rinfre. They actually recreated what the plaza would have been in the day. They took my inspiration and took it to a new level. I like the art the best because of the Andy Warhol 70s, 80s New York vibe. Of course, Truman Capote and Liza Minnelli had their parties here in the day. It has some great heritage. That's what I love about it.
Will you miss this apartment?
I will, but I spend a lot of time now on an airplane or in Connecticut or in LA or in Miami. A lot of time in Europe nowadays.
So you have to say goodbye, Felicia, to this apartment.
For the moment.
Thank you, Tommy Hillfiger, for inviting us in your home.
My pleasure.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Coming up, inside the most expensive townhouse in Harlem. Show me outside. Then, Tom Hanks made this home famous. The real-life money pit and other celebrity homes when we come back. Welcome back. Harlem has always been an important part of the fabric of New York City, but like many neighborhoods, it's feeling the effects of gentrification. Mr. Lewis, you wrote the definitive book on Harlem when Harlem was in vogue. What was this neighborhood like back in the day?
It was a nice neighborhood, Hamilton Terrace then. It impressed me as populated by the very old and the very young and hungry and not particularly affluent.
When did the real estate change in Harlem?
The Lenox Avenue subway opened in 1904, and it was just assumed that everything was going to boom north of the park. Well, it didn't accomplish what it was supposed to. That is to say, it was not the source of great development, in fact, because it coincided with an economic downturn. In 1905, a house in Harlem at number 31 West 133rd Street, just at 7th Avenue, had just taken on its first Negro occupants, and that was the beginning of the shift. After World War I, 1915, 1916, it really accelerates. And it coincides with what you would call a great artistic flourish with African-American musicals on Broadway in great numbers. It soon had the moniker of being the Negro metropolis, the capital of the world.
What are your feelings of Harlem now, these days?
Many people regret what is happening, that the rich are coming to buy up their neighborhood.
So just a few steps away from where you wrote your book, this house on the corner of Hamilton Terrace has sold for north of $5 million. Would you ever think that would happen in your lifetime?
It has, and that is significant.
Hi, I'm Rosanna.
Hi, Rosanna. I'm Tamara Murata. Welcome to 72 Hamilton Terrace.
Nice.
This house was built in 1897. It was originally owned by the Goldsmith family. It was a single-family home, and it has always been called the mansion on Hamilton Terrace. The Goldsmith family lived in this house until the late 40s. And then it became a charismatic Nazareth Deliverance spiritual church. As you can see, this is fully renovated.
So how difficult is it to restore a landmark home?
Every window that was replaced here, 42, they're wooden. So landmarks had to approve that. They approved the wrought iron. They had a mason come in, the developers from England, that did a lot of the limestone work, the beautiful terracotta Roman brick, which you can't find anymore.
What do you think is the best feature of this house?
It's the windows. It's all about the windows.
So how big is this house?
We have 4 bedrooms. It's about 5,000 square feet. We have a party room in the cellar.
It looks like it has state-of-the-art everything.
Everything. Fill up the pasta pot.
Oh my God, no way.
Yes.
What every Italian American needs in their house.
That's it.
Okay, and another thing?
Yeah.
The espresso.
You have to have that.
This is fantastic. Cheers.
Cheers.
So where did the doors come from?
The doors are repurposed. And they all came from the Guggenheim estate in Long Island.
So a house this big must have some secrets.
Yes, and this house does. It's a secret staircase
To
the stars.
You mean outside?
Yeah.
You're kidding me. You can go out to the roof right here?
Yes.
Show me outside.
You feel like you're on the top of the world. You have great downtown views.
The spirit of Harlem, still alive as it was when Harlem was in vogue?
The evocation of the spirit of Harlem is, it seems to me, more vigorous than ever.
Sylvia's is still alive and well.
It is, and of course we have the Red Rooster and its new reincarnation, and indeed the French are back. History describes what is past, and in that sense, Harlem is changing.
Straight ahead, inside Suzanne Summers' desert oasis. You need a lot of thigh masters to buy this house, right? Plus, saddle up. The $250 million Texas ranch that'll knock your boots off. The rich and famous continue to buy, sell, and change the real estate landscape. Let's talk celebrity homes with naughtygossip.com's Rob Shuter.
Hello.
Hello, so Money Pit.
It's amazing. So this is a chance to actually own a little bit of movie history. The 80s movie Money Pit with Tom Hanks, the house in the film, the actual house, is now up for sale.
So it's not a Money Pit house, it was just in the movie.
You would think it might even affect the price in maybe a bad way, because the movie sort of painted this home as a really bad investment.
But this house is gorgeous.
It's the opposite of that. The couple that own it paid about $2 million for it. Now it's going for almost $6 million.
Very classic kind of furniture, French, right?
It's really smart. This is the Gold Coast, I guess, of Long Island.
Oh, it's big money there.
It's big money. The grounds are beautiful. The house is beautiful. Fireplaces throughout. In fact, there's even a fireplace in the foyer. So when you walk into the home, there by the staircase, there's a fireplace there in case you get a little cold, I guess.
I love it. All right, let's go west, young man. And we got to strike it rich with oil, I think, to buy T. Boone Pickens' home. Well, he's an oil man,
yeah,
right?
he is an oil baron. Millions and millions of dollars. I think he's actually a billionaire, and he needs every dollar of that because this is 65,000 acres. This is one of the largest houses up for sale in America. It has its own airport.
What?
Not only that, Rosanna, there's a house, a private house for the pilots to stay in.
He's thought of everything.
Every single detail. It has its own church.
A church?
A church. It has its own island. I don't think you can actually call this a house. This is like a little country. It also comes with its own golf course. If you want to play around a golf, you do not have to leave the property. And I'm not talking 1 or 2 holes. This is like a professional golf course in his grounds.
So you never have to leave the compound?
You never leave the compound.
How much is this going for?
Our friends at top10realestatedeals.com, they tell us it is $250 million.
You know what? I'd pay $100 million for it, but $250, I mean, really, come on.
Too much. I think you're probably right. They say everything is bigger in Texas. This proves that to be true. This place is so massive, it even has its own name, Mesa Vista Ranch.
All right, let's go to Palm Springs now. By the way, you need a lot of thigh masters to buy this house, right?
It is Suzanne Summers' house that we're talking about. It's not really a traditional house. What it is every single room basically is a standalone building. So there's a bedroom, there's a kitchen, there's a dining room, but they're all like little bungalows on this massive piece of land. It's literally carved into the side of the mountain. She also has a wine cellar in the property.
How many wine bottles?
5,000.
Not enough?
5,000. I think everybody...
That's good for Friday night. Now what do we do for Saturday?
Everybody in Palm Springs can come over and have a bottle of wine with Suzanne.
So how much is this one going for?
At one point, this was up for sale for over $35 million. Now, it feels like a bargain. It's up for $14 million. But I should point out, you even get your own sort of tram, like a cable car, on the property to take you from room to room to room to room. And we gotta say, you're living in Suzanne Summers'
I know.
home.
And I heard she's throwing in the furniture, too.
She really is.
What a deal.
You get her furniture as well. Her next door neighbour is Barry Manilow. So if you buy Susan's house and you maybe walk up to the fence, you might be able to hear Copacabana. That alone is worth the $14 million.
Thanks for the scoop, Ron Shooter.
You're the best.
When we come back, real estate agents don't want you to know this.
You don't really want people to hear you when you're filming adult films in a residential building.
His date from the night before is in bed, passed out.
I see flashbulbs. I see paparazzi.
Real Estate Confidential is next. Real estate brokers can sometimes feel like they're in a bizarre reality show. This is Real Estate Confidential.
Hey, I'm Brian Lewis from Compass. You never know who's going to knock on your door in real estate. Coldest day of the year. I call my seller. I've gotten a request from a very, very good buyer's agent. She wants to show his house. I'm selling the house. I get permission to show the house. The heat is broken. We're going to do it anyway. I jump into gear. I'm in the house. I start a fire in the fireplace. Beautiful. The room is set. The place is right. It's cold. I hear a knock at the door. I go. I open the door. I see flashbulbs. I see paparazzi. Suddenly, I see this wonderful human being come up the stairs. And I'm shielding the paparazzi because I don't know who this is. And who looks up for me from this little hoodie but Miss Taylor Swift. There was a really nice looking young guy with her, and I said, "Hey, Taylor, who's that?" She goes, "My brother." Yeah. Nice people. They didn't buy the house, but boy, did we have a great time.
Hi, I'm Kim Shepard from Douglas Elliman. You will not believe the unnecessary drama we have to deal with as real estate brokers. I have a second showing in a very expensive apartment. I arrive early to show the apartment, and obviously the seller has had an all-night party. I go and clean up his living room and his kitchen, go into the bedroom, and his date from the night before is in bed, passed out. I have to wake her up, dress her. She's crying, she's intoxicated, and has no money to get home. I get her to the front door fully dressed, give her $20, and get her out of the apartment in time for the appointment. That day, not only was I a broker, I was a therapist and a housekeeper.
My name is Tiga McLeod with City Habitats. This is the craziest thing that's ever happened to me in the business. So I had a client. My client had moved overseas, had not seen his apartment in about 10 years. When I finally got into the apartment, we were looking around. This was the strangest looking place I'd ever seen. There were these 6-inch metal rods poking out of the wall in these random places, all this crazy lighting everywhere, multiple air conditioners in every window, and this thick blue shag carpet squares were all over the floor. So I went and I Googled the tenant, of course. I had to know what was going on. They'd actually been filming adult movies in this apartment, and no one knew anything about it. So it turned out that those spikes in the wall were camera mounts, the crazy lighting was for filming, the multiple air conditioners were for cooling down the room from the lighting, and the blue carpet squares were for sound deadening, because you don't really want people to hear you when you're filming adult films in a residential building. Only in New York, man.
Nothing really surprises me anymore, from the outrageous to the lavish. No matter where you live, real estate is always changing. Thank you so much for spending time with us. Until the next time, I'm Rosanna Scotto.